Namaste students. Today in this video I am going to discuss the variety of credit arrangement. So to know about the variety of credit arrangement, let's see some story is given here. So like you, here two students Rohit and Ranjan, when they finish the terms of credit, they eager to know what who were the people who provide credit, next who were the borrower, next what are the terms of credit. So to know about that, Rohit and Ranjan, they meet some farmer. So here example is given. See, here one is Semlal, then Orun, then Rama. So these three person, they are taking loan from different sources. So from where they taking loan, let's see. Semlal, he is taking loan at the first time from the village Mahajan or village moneylender at what rate of interest? At 5% per annum. After that, he taking loan from the agricultural trader at what percent? At 3%. And again see here Orun, he is a farm laborer and he taking loan from the bank at what percent? At 8.5% per annum. See the difference here. Semlal taking money from the village moneylender at 5% per month, and here 8.5% per annum, means in year 8.5, here in year it will be 60%. And again see in the case of Rama, he is taking loan at 5% from where? From landowner, 5% per annum. So see the difference. Here three cases is given: Semlal, Orun, and Rama. Semlal is taking loan at the first time from the moneylender at high rate of interest, and due to high rate of interest, they fell in debt trap. Debt trap means when they will give high rate of interest, their farmer, if they are unable to repay the loan, again they will take loan in the next crop. So in this way they will continue taking the loan, but they will unable to repay the loan. So this situation means they will enter in a debt trap, means they are again fall in to give more loan if they continue taking loan. So that is, and again he also taking loan from the loan trader, agricultural trader. So farmer get loans from agricultural trader at lower rate of interest, but condition is that the trader also get the promise of the farmer to sell their crops to him. So in this way, trader, see here it is said that means agricultural trader will give them loan, but condition is that the trader also get to promise of the farmer to sell their crop to him. So in this way, trader ensured that the money is repaid beside making profit. So he buys crop from farmer at low price and sell it later when price is high. So in this case, similar condition we have got. And next here see Orun, he is taking loan from where? He is taking loan from bank at low rate of interest. So in rural areas, medium and large farmer take bank loan for cultivation at very low rate of interest and easy repayment terms. Banks also provide other facilities to such borrowers. Because Orun, he is taking loan from the bank at low rate of interest. And again, in the next case, Rama. So Rama is working in a neighboring field, and she taking loan from where? She taking loan from landowner at 5%, landowner at 5% per month. So landless agricultural laborers, means who are landless, they taking loan from the landowner and at 5% per month. So from this tree story, here Rohit and Ranjan get that Semlal is taking loan from money lender, or after that agricultural trader. Arur is taking loan from bank and Rama is taking loan from landowner. So they are taking loan from different sources. That is why their rate of interest is different. So again, if we see beside this, one source is that from where we can take loan, that is loan from cooperatives. So here example is given that you see this. So here it is said that Krishak cooperative is a cooperative that function in a village near Sonpur. It has 2,300 farmers as members, and it accept deposit from its member, and with this deposit as collateral security, the cooperative has obtained a large loan from the bank, and these funds are used to provide loan to member. So here we have got 5 sources from where we can take or borrow money. So if we see the situation or formal sector credit in India or credit sources in India, so we will see there are 2 types of sources. One is formal sector loans and one is informal sector loans. So what is formal and what is informal? See this. So formal sector means loans from banks and cooperatives. This is the formal sources. And money lender, trader, employers, relatives, friends, these are informal sources. So here one graph is given. See this graph. This is given sources of credit per rupees 1,000 of rural household in India in 2012. See from where they are taking loan. See 33% loan is taking from the money lender. So in this way you just see it, you will understand. And again see, question is that it is very important question, is more credit coming from the formal sector or the informal sector? In India there are 2 types of sources for credit, but question is that from which sources of credit coming more credit and easy to give credit or easy to take credit. So see, formal sector we already got. Formal sector is banks and cooperative. So here it is said that the Reserve Bank of India supervising the functioning of formal sources of loan. So whatever the formal sources means banks and cooperatives, these are supervised by Reserve Bank of India, and the RBI monitors the bank in actually maintaining cash balance, and similarly the RBI sees that the bank give loans not just to profit making business and traders but also to small cultivators. Means only from the formal sector, that is from banks or cooperatives, available only cheap credit, means low rate, at the low rate of interest, the small farmer also able to take loan. And again see, but in the informal sources there is no organization which supervise the credit, means the money lender, village mahajan, relatives, they are giving loan or they lend money without any guidelines under any institution like banks. So that is why sometimes they used the unfair means to beg the money. So again see, compared to formal lenders, most of the informal lenders charge a much higher rate of interest. Thus the cost of the borrower of informal loans is much higher. Means the informal sources always charge high rate of interest. That is why the cost of borrower, means suppose you are borrowing money from friends, relatives, or money lenders, then you have to pay more rate of interest. That is why your cost of borrowing is more. But if you borrow money from banks, then your rate of interest will be low, and that is why your cost of borrowing will be less. So again means higher cost of borrowing means what? Higher cost of borrowing means a larger part of earnings of the borrower is used to repay the loan, and hence borrowers have less income left for themselves. Means whatever they are able to earn income, so from that they have to repay the loan with high rate of interest. So they'll, in their head, it will be left only less amount. So that is why higher cost of borrowing means larger part of earning have to pay or repay from where they are borrowing the money. So again see, again here it is said that for this reason, banks and cooperative societies need to lend more. We have already got that from the formal sources the rate of interest is low, but the informal sources the rate of interest is high. So that is why banks should be give to everybody, so that the cheap and affordable credit is crucial for the country's development. Means what? Means only banks are able to give loan to the small scale industries or small businessmen at low rate of interest. Then it is possible they can able to set up production activity with the low rate of interest. But if they borrowing money high rate of interest, then it is not possible to development. That is why it is said that cheap and affordable credit is crucial for the country's development. After that, next see formal and informal credit, who gets what. So to know this, let's see the graph 2. So here see, here it is said that of all the loans taken by urban household, what percentage was formal and what percentage was informal. So here see the poor household. Again let's see this one also. The blue is said that percent of loans from the informal sector. Purple is said that percentage of loans from the formal sector. Here it is said that poor household, see, in the poor household 15% loan from what? From formal sector, but 85% loan from the informal sector. In this way, see this one and this one, you will understand what is the difference loans from the informal and formal sources in urban areas. And here we have already discussed another picture. This is sources of credit of rural household. So see the difference. So after this discussion, the next important point is that most loans from informal lenders carry a very high rate of interest and do little to increase the income of the borrowers, because informal lenders always charge very high rate of interest, and due to this the borrower able to earn very less of little income. That is why thus it is necessary that banks and cooperatives, means formal sources of credit, they should increase their lending, particularly in the rural areas, because in rural areas most of the people are lending money from the informal sources. So the formal sources should increase their lending, particularly in rural areas, so that the dependence on informal sources means dependence on informal sources of rural people of credit will reduce if the formal sources will give loan to the people in rural areas at low rate of interest. And again it is said that again, secondly, while formal sector loans need to expand, it is also necessary that everyone receive these loans. Means formal sources should give the facility or should give the easy performer so that the villager can take loan at low rate of interest. And that is why, but one thing is important, that at present it is the richer household who receive the formal credit, where the poor have to depend on informal sources. Though in rural areas formal sources of credit is set up, but still only the richer household, they are able to receive the formal credit, but the poor still they are depending on the informal sources. So that is why it is very important that the formal credit is distributed more equally so that poor can benefit from the Cheapand loans. That is why whatever the formal sources of credit set up in village area, rural areas, they should give attention to the equal distribution of credit so that the poor also can get the facility. After this discussion, the next, see here one picture is given. This type of working people, is there possibility to get loan? So for these people, what is the solution? See, so one is the important source of credit is the self-help groups for the poor. So what is self-help group? So let's see. In previous section, what we have discussed, the poor household are still dependent on informal sources of credit. Why it is so? Why it is so? Because banks are not present in everywhere in rural areas. See, this is the important. Here it is said that the poor household still dependent on informal sources of credit. Why is it so? Because banks, one reason, banks are not present in everywhere in rural areas, rural India. And again the second point, even when they are present, getting a loan from a bank is much more difficult than taking a loan from informal sources. So due to these main two reasons, the poor people still dependent on informal sources. So now question is that what is self-help groups? To understand this, again see, as we show Megha, bank loans require proper documents. Means Megha, what is, from where it is got? In the terms of credit, we have got this name Megha when she taking a house loan. At that time, what she given? The collateral to the bank. So next see, banks lend loans require proper documents, collateral. Absence of collateral is one of the major reasons which prevents the poor from getting bank loans. Because see, the poor people, they have lack of collateral, and in the bank when they will approach to loan, at that time the bank will ask to submit the collateral, but poor people, they have lack of collateral, so that is why they are unable to getting loan from the formal sources of the bank. So again see, informal lenders such as the money lenders on the other hand know the borrowers personally and hence are often willing to give loan without collateral. In the informal source there is no need of collateral. The borrowers can if necessarily approach the money lender even without repaying their earlier loans. However, the money lender charge very high rate of interest and keep no records of the transaction and harass the poor borrowers. Means the informal sources, they know the person individual, that is why they never ask to give the collateral. And suppose a person taking loan from money lender and suppose he unable to repay the loan, but suppose he approach to taking a loan again, then the money lender given to them, but money lender never take it on record. That is why when in this way they are giving loan, but the borrower suppose unable to repay, at that time they use some unfair means to return the money. So next see, in recent year people have tried out some newer ways to providing loans to the poor, and the idea is to organize rural poor, in particular women, into self-help group and pool their saving. A typical self-help group has 15 to 20 members. What is self-help group? See, a typical self-help group has 15 to 20 members and usually belonging to one neighborhood who meet and save regularly. Saving per member varies from 25 to 100 or more. So again see, depending on the ability of the people to save, member can take some loans from the group itself to meet their needs. The group charges interest on these loans, but this is still less than what the moneylender charges. After a year or two, if the group is regular in saving, it becomes eligible for availing loan from the bank. So this is the self-help group. But again see, this is not the only characteristics. There are so many advantages of self-help group. See, what are the advantages? See, the group charges very less rate of interest, and when they are suppose passing 1 year 2 years, they are able to get loan from the banks. And again see, loan is sanctioned in the name of the group and is meant to create self-employment opportunities for the member. For instance, small loans are provided to the members for releasing mortgage land, for meeting working capital needs, buying seeds, fertilizer, raw materials like bamboo and cloth. So these are the facility. And again see, most important decision regarding saving and loan activities are taken by the group members. The group decide as regard the loans as to be granted, the purpose amount interest to be charged, and repayment schedule, etc. And again also it is the group who is responsible for repayment of the loan. Any case of non-repayment of loan by any one member is followed up seriously by other members in the group. Suppose someone borrowing money from this group among their members, but suppose she or he was unable to repay the loan. So at that date, the group member decide what to do among themselves. And again, does self-help group borrowers overcome the problem of lack of collateral? Means from the self-help groups to borrow money among the members, there is no need to submit any collateral. So this is the facility. They can get timely loans for a variety of purpose and at a reasonable interest rates. Moreover, self-help group are building blocks of organization of rural poor. Not only does it help women become to financially self-led, so this is C again, not only does it help women to become financially self-reliant, the regular meeting of the groups provide a platform to discuss and act on a variety of social issues such as health, nutrition, domestic violence. This is very important. Beside the money, the other things also discussed in the self-help group. So this is all about the self-help group. This is the one picture is given. So after that, most important things that from where the self-help group is started. So self-help group actually, the Grameen Bank of Bangladesh is one of the biggest success stories in reading the poor to meet their credit needs at reasonable rates. So Grameen Bank of Bangladesh. So one here let's see, the Grameen Bank in 2018 had over 9 million members in about 81,600 villages spread across Bangladesh, and almost all of the borrowers are women and belong to poorest section of the society. So these borrowers have proved that not only are poor women reliable borrowers, but they can start and run a variety of small income generating activities successfully. So when women are interested to something, then suppose bank is want to give loan, then it is possible to develop the self-reliant facility of the women. So this thinking to development of the or self-reliant or help to the poor women section, the one important Professor Muhammad Yunus from the Bangladesh, and he also the founder of Grameen Bank, and he also received the Nobel Prize in 2006 for peace. So he first invented the self-help group. Why? He said that if credit can be made available to poor people on terms and conditions that are appropriate and reasonable, these millions of small people with their millions of small pursuit can add up to create the biggest development on them. So he first introduced the self-help group in Bangladesh. After success in Bangladesh, the other countries also follow, especially the the country of India also follow the self-help group. You can see in the race most of the women's or nowadays the men also engage in the self-help group, and with the help of self-help group they are able to getting loan from the banks at low rate of interest, and they can use this money for their productive access, and in this way their income develop, and in this way the country also going to develop. So this is the benefit of self-help group. But thing is that when the formal sources of credit will give the facility at low rate of interest and cheap and affordable credit to the public, then it is possible the development of the country. So students, I hope you understand, and this is all about the variety of credit arrangement and credit sources in India, means formal and informal. And again we have discussed the self-help group, which is known as a helping hand for women. So I hope you understand. In the next video we will discuss the next chapter. Thank you.